A woman writes in, she says she had sex with a 15-year-old boy, but it was 14 years ago. She was 33 at the time, but was going through a dark time, she says. So she blocked it out basically and forgot it even happened, according to what she tells me, right? But she goes into a parking garage and runs into the young man again later in life, 14 years later. But she felt guilty and she just doesn't know how to even deal with this. She like,
he hollered at her?
Regularly, but she knows, he gave her the number. He's older now, but she still regrets this decision. She doesn't really talk to him on the phone or anything. She still feels that guilt, but she wants to know, should she be judged? Because she was going through a dark time and it was years and years ago.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Devinwade Network. You already know who it is. It's Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Dangerous Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mama, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. We back, and today, man, I'm just a guy on the totem pole because I'm just surrounded by celebrities, man. We got celebrities in the audience. We got celebrities on the microphone. But we're going to really get to it. First of all, of course, all the way in the back, we got my man Slice Maximus from the Talk Heavy podcast. Also to the side of me, we got Maura in the building, rocking the pink hair and all of that. But now, on the couch, we have the pervert of all perverts. This person is a fucking freak.
Is it you or me?
This person is a fucking freak. The things they've said on our show and on other shows and all the clips on the internet is quite disturbing. But we have the legendary Miss Stormy Pea.
Mama, I made it, Mama, I made it.
She was on a song too, right?
No, that wasn't me.
It did sound like her.
Oh man. And then we have CEO of many companies, was a millionaire, now newly crowned billionaire, a philanthropist, stand-up comedian, author, all of these great things. This man owns the J Hill Network. I can't believe that he's here personally. We only got a few minutes with him because he's off to meet was it Trump, Obama, one of them? Obama. But we got Mr. J Hill in the building.
Appreciate it. That's gonna get the viewers up. Let's go. That's gonna get the viewers up.
Yeah, man, he got a hairline and all that shit. I don't fuck with this nigga already. I see how thick that shit look in the front. I'm mad as hell. Like, is that a unit, nigga?
It's a man unit.
I said, God damn, I gotta get me one of them. If you see me with the J Hill joint,
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
But man, today what we gonna do on the network, because we got these different perspectives here. I want to go right into some viewer questions, bro.
You don't want to play no games today?
I don't want to play no games. I want to jump right in. What we got, yo?
All right, I started off, man. I read one of these. Here you go. Y'all with me. I never could imagine my wife betraying me, but my wife cheated on me and had an affair with some nigga at the job. When looking through my wife's phone, I found out that my teenage son knew all about it. My wife paid to keep his mouth shut by buying him gifts and giving him money not to tell me. When I approached him about it, why didn't he tell me? He just tried to tell me he didn't want to hurt my feelings. But now that I know that he knew, man, I don't know if I could ever fuck with him again.
Damn.
My feelings really hurt. I never thought my only son would betray me. I made him leave and stay with his mom at the hotel to keep me from killing the both of them. Now, I could part ways with my wife, but my best friend is saying that that's my only child and I'm overreacting and I have to fix the relationship with him. Do you think I'm overreacting?
Killing? You want to kill your son?
No, he said not the killing part. Yeah, he got rid of him to keep from killing him.
I think that's good. Distance is good sometimes.
I think it's a
you gotta leave for a second.
Man, fuck that nigga.
I mean, that is crazy.
You want some fuck them kids?
FTK.
So you a snitch?
No, not fuck the kids, but fuck that nigga. He a grown man.
Am I the only one who feel like as a father you should be proud that you didn't taught your son to like hold it down? He didn't tell. You didn't raise a snitch.
He didn't tell his own.
It's a thin line between loyalty and snitching. Like I don't know. You gotta find the right point in the line. I don't know.
No, my son better tell me. Let me tell you something. If this nigga don't tell me that, I don't care if it's his mother. If my son allow his mother to go get dick at the job and don't tell his father, that is the biggest betrayal that could possibly happen.
Now, plot twist. what if he's sick of your shit and he know his mama's sick of your shit? So that's another reason he ain't tell.
Or we could just keep it on some real nigga shit and just be like, Pops, I don't think you and Mom's working out. You should do your thing. Now, if he say that, right? And he ain't snitching. But if he say that, and he be like, Pops, I tried to give you the warning, but you ain't catch the hint.
I like that.
Cool.
I like that because that way he not giving it up. He just feel like I just feel like y'all not getting
In
along.
my neighborhood, it's called dry snitching. It's the same shit.
Not you want your son to be dirty macking.
I think we are
shit.
missing like an important detail. How old is the
That's what I
kid?
was
I thought he
just about to
said
ask.
teenage. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
17.
No,
I
Let's
automatically
go with
think
17. 15.
17 is crazy.
Let's take a guess.
Hold on.
Take a guess.
First off, 18, 19, even 17 is different than 13.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like-
yes.
Facts.
Like he might be a kid that's just looking at it from the perspective of I don't want my parents to break up. Maybe he likes his crib, likes his situation, wants to
At
see his
13
dad.
for sure, yeah.
Look where you live
what
at
if,
now.
What if your dad? But what if your son tells you, the reason I didn't tell you is I don't want you to leave the house. I'm not gonna have my dad no more. So if I tell you now, I see you once a week or whatever the case may be, that you can't put a kid in that position. But
Big violin.
But-
Big violin.
but kids are often put. I know some of y'all got put in that
But
situation.
I
before.
did. I literally did.
I was about to say. I
Wait, your
know.
mama was out freaking out?
No, my dad was.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like very like tuned in. Like I'd be finding things out that I do not want to know, but I find out.
But
So
what
I had to
age,
tell
though?
my mom. I was 12.
Sheesh.
So hold on. How did you actually like?
Well,
Catchy.
because so it was basically like before I actually caught him. Like I just like I knew, but he just like wasn't showing up in like a lot of ways. And my mom is like a little cute little angel baby. You know what I mean? Like she deserves the best.
You see
And
how
he-
you feel about their moms?
Well, I'm just
Your
saying.
mom is a torturer.
Whatever. I'm just saying. So I had to tell her, like, I was like, this ain't it. Like, he's got to go, kind of. And then once that happened, that's when I realized that he had a girlfriend anyways. So then I had to tell my mom because, like, my mom was like, we're going to fix this. Like, da-da-da-da. I'm like, nah, you're not going to fix it. You're going to get him out of the house and we're going to keep it pushing.
See, I ain't have like my dad. Like I talked about this once before, but like my dad, I didn't have him in my life. But he would like be a guest character that would pop up like every couple years.
Yeah,
Like every couple years he pop up. But you know what niggas do? What happens is they get a girlfriend because they have a girlfriend and the girlfriend knows that they have kids. They gotta go get their kid now. Cause she gonna wonder, where's your son? I know you got sons. Where he at? So they go pick you up, bring you over there to kind of showcase, that's my son. But then we spun off somewhere else and he put me in a room. I was at this lady house and he was like, yo,
What was her
don't
name?
tell. Nah, you got her.
Hashtag say her
This
name.
nigga's still in the hood.
Say her name is crazy.
Talking about snitching and shit. Yo, that's crazy. Like, that's great. This ain't no like Breonna Taylor type shit.
Hashtag say her name.
This nigga is bugging, yo. But he was like, yo, don't tell Miss So-and-so. I got something for you. Put me in this back room, dog. It was just a back room in a row
You gave
home.
some pussy?
No,
Oh,
First
Listen.
Because I'm just picturing like he put me in the back room.
No,
I got something for you.
I was like 11.
Oh,
and
shit.
he put me in the back room. It was just like a little like a mattress on the floor and a TV, right? Look, and a TV,
Sound
right?
like all my apartments in the past.
But what he had a Sega Genesis.
Oh shit.
And he was like, this your Christmas present, but you can't have it till Christmas, but you can use it tonight. And basically, I was in this room playing games all night while he was knocking the cheeks down in the next room. But that was the bribe that when we go back over to my shorty house, this isn't where we, and I forgot where he told, I think we were supposed to be at his mom's house, my grandmom's crib and shit like that.
So he
we
put you in the
came
back room with the little mattress on the floor.
in the game and just was like, because that's going to keep a nigga busy. Brandon, back then, that shit was state of the art, nigga. I was back there rocking Streets of Rage all night long and shit, and that nigga was just Sheets of Rage, just in there
Oh
doing
my
whatever he was
God.
doing, you know what I mean? So people will put you now with my dad. I don't know his girl. I don't care to tell. But if that's my mom, I don't know, cuz I don't know, man. I don't have that father-son relationship as a kid to know whether I would say
Yeah,
something.
dads teach their sons to shut the fuck up. That's like you teach a kid how to ride a bike, play football, shut the fuck up. They go together. And like
all in one.
You might tell your son this is Aunt Keisha, but he know what the fuck it is. He know not to tell mom y'all went to see Aunt Keisha. It's just golden rules of being a child with a dad.
Okay, so when you learn to shut the fuck up, like you just said,
For your dad.
See, no, for your dad.
For your dad.
Stormy, how is that? Like, how does that make sense? What he's saying, if it can't be one way.
I don't even think it's that deep. Maybe that child knew that, like, financially, y'all can't survive separated. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut so y'all can stay together.
Again,
okay?
the age matter though. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
If we're talking 13, 14, maybe 15. I understand what you're saying. I don't want my parents to split. That might hurt too much. But if we're talking about 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, it's like, I don't know.
But what if he went to the moms and was just on some shit, like he told his mom, like, yo, cut that shit the fuck out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, man, you
Like,
fucking
this ain't
up.
for you.
I'm not gonna tell, but I need you to cut that shit the fuck off.
Well,
you
then
in the wrong
do you take the
mindset.
bribes then?
Yeah.
You ain't taking the bribes if you tell mom, yo, stop that shit, mom.
So the
This
bribes-
coming from the nigga who was playing Sega Genesis in the next room. Y'all listening?
No, he right. If you
No,
telling
but-
moms to chill like you on some nut shit, right? And she don't stop, and then I approach you and I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, man, I'm trying to tell her, you get what I'm saying? But she just wasn't listening. But taking the bribes is different.
But what?
Now you're a rat. Now you're a rat. Take cheese. Like,
This is the
Cheese
difference.
is crazy.
But this is the difference. The police give you burgers and shit like that when they want you to rap, but your parents gotta feed you anyway. The kid might be like, I can't tell the difference between what my mom's
You
just
don't
providing.
eat Jordans.
It's a difference between pizza and Brussels sprouts, nigga.
Facts.
What we getting?
you know what you get on a regular
Exactly.
nigga? They just turned it up a notch. You tell me, you know the fuck.
Because
that
you know
is.
what? The bribes are not, in them situations, the bribes aren't usually blatant. It's not usually as blatant as it was with my dad. It's normally just like, you know, you caught me doing some shit, and then I slide up and be like, I know you really wanted to go to that camp or whatever, and I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna get you in there. I'm gonna let you go to the football camp with the NFL dude that's your hero. I'm gonna take you to wrestling, nigga. You want to go to WrestleMania?
It's just like a vibe. Like, you know when you're like in the doghouse and you know when you're not. Like, my dad knew that I didn't give a fuck. Like, I was like, yeah, and what? Like, I was low-key a 13-year-old savage. Like, around that time when I would find things, I'd be like, if I would find jewelry of hers, I'd be like, whose is this? And he would be like, oh, it's yours. And I would just like literally rip it.
It is now.
Oh, no, you ain't get beatings or something, did you?
No.
That's why.
There you go.
No, but my sister was favored. Every time that we were with my dad, it was like whatever my little sister wanted.
Cause she
was-
not a rat.
Exactly.
I guess a kid could get starved out too, because obviously these people might be the same level of petty. The dad's kicking him out, not doing for his son, got him in a hotel somewhere based off of this.
He's still providing. Sound like he put them in a hotel.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Allegedly.
You know who put him in the hotel? The nigga she was fucking at that hotel.
Because he can't bring it back to his wife. They both cheated.
Damn.
Let me ask you this. I would expect my daughter to tell, which is fucked up, but I don't expect my son to tell. So what about the fucking gender that I got a different feeling in my soul? Is girls more rats than dudes?
I think girls have more empathy. So like you understand us. Like we're more sensitive. We have more feelings and like emotion, you know? So it's like, oh, okay, she probably told because she's like feeling all of this like energy
Emotion.
about it. Yeah.
So you telling on your mom, J Hill?
Nigga, look to the left.
You snitching on your mom.
Man, I'm trying to joke and shit with the hypotheticals. I'm
but
not
you-
trying to make the story.
No, this is you. We need to know.
Is you telling
We need to
nigga?
know.
You ratting or
Jay
not?
Hill is telling on his mom. Jay Hill found out his mom's is out there beasting, going crazy with the homie, the coach, your football coach. You know what I mean?
It's a hard question to answer, bro. I'm sorry, because like I grew up with old moms. I ain't had my pops around, so I can't even see that. I can't even picture that. So I'm like, it's really a hypothetical question. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
All right, so let's say this: did you have any stepdads in your life or nothing like
I
that?
ain't have nobody. I had
Damn.
coaches. Like, so,
Oh,
like,
shit.
no cap. Like, so my pops was like a whatever the fuck you call it too. But
He said, no, you said a
said an
pop-up character or some
NPC.
shit.
But yeah, but
A non-player character.
that nigga wasn't even that to me, to be honest. And he wasn't even my real father, so I made it worse. Like, how you the nigga that stepped up and still ain't step up? So it's like, it's just
Damn.
like you name me after you, and then like like I'm not your real son.
Hold on, wait. So let's. Hold on, this just turned.
This shit turns a whole nother show.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep character. I'm trying to have fun with y'all, but like in my mind, I'm like I can't even understand.
Hold on. So we got
rewind that shit.
We have to veer
DJ
off.
rewind.
We have to veer off. So you're named. So are you a junior?
Yeah.
So you're J Hill Jr., but your dad, the dad that you're a junior after, isn't your real dad?
Yeah. He's not my biological father.
So how did that even pop off from the beginning? So he met your mom. She was pregnant in bed, and he was like, "I'm in."
That's the peppy.
He said, "I know she fucking.
I ain't gonna lie to
I know
you.
she fucking. She pregnant." So it's like, how did that happen?
He must have, men had a superhero complex, like the Superman complex. He might have met her and felt like she was doing bad and be like, I want to take care of you type shit. But I have no clue. What it could have been trauma bonding. I feel like, like to be real, like my mom's was raped when she, like, that's how she had me.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I guess he tried to step up to be like Superman and shit like that, but he couldn't
handle it.
Yeah, he couldn't.
No, that's real
he couldn't
talk.
play the
Crazy.
cards.
We talking about something so serious, and this nigga says Superman.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard it like a few times before now. It just kept popping out.
It's funny. I be telling people niggas be talking about two and do. I be like, man, that's the other words you gotta catch. He
was like Superman. I don't know. That
he
shit was
say
crazy.
nephew or some shit. Like, I don't know, but whatever.
But
Yeah,
that's
heavy.
so wild. Yeah, no, that's heavy. That's a heavy situation.
Let me ask a question. Do you think you respect him for attempting to step up? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know he didn't come all the way through how he's supposed to, but I can see a thorough nigga meet a nice woman. You try and like hold it down. You're like, yo, I'm naming young boy after me. I'm gonna be here. But then certain shit happens. Like, I really can't fuck with this situation. I'm out.
I can acknowledge efforts, but you don't get no rewards for that. Right? So it's like you did more harm than good.
Oh, really?
Right? Because
Really?
now I have something in my mind that I yearn for. If I never seen that, I don't know what the fuck that looked like, right? But now you came in, you said, yo, I'll buy you a car when I'm 17. So now the reason I'm buying my own car at 17 isn't really out of pure love for me and wanting to get my own car. It's because somebody told me they was going to do something, they ain't do it, and now I'm hurt behind
You're trying to fulfill you're trying to fulfill his promise also.
Yeah, for myself, right? And then that breeds into other things going into adulthood. Now I really can't trust nobody because I'm so used to getting let down. And most of the like disappointments came from that side because he would always make promises but never keep it.
How long was he there constantly? Like in the beginning, what was the length of time before he kind of?
I mean, my moms would say like he was there when I was probably like 6. I don't know, because from all I can remember is inconsistency. I remember one time, like, and even when I was like staying with him, there was like some of the most fucked up times in my life, and that's why I never even unpacked this like this. But that's why me and my moms aren't as tight as we are now, because a lot of is the times where like she was doing her thing, what she had to do, whatever the case may be, and when I was staying with him. Sometimes, like maybe twice in my life, I can remember on summer times. But I remember one time I was staying, his brother, my uncle, would like steal my food. Like it was times where I had to put my food in totes. Me and my cousin had to put out noodles and like sardines and like tuna fish and shit like that. And the tote, you remember like the totes that you get from like Rite Aid or something like that. We used to go down, steal the totes, have our food in there so nobody would take it, and they would steal our food. You get what I'm saying? So those were the times where I had to feel I felt like I was really on my own. You get what I'm trying to say? So like it was all trauma there. So it was so much so that when he passed, I wasn't hurt that he passed, but I was hurt that I didn't have a feeling from him passing, because I feel like if that's my father, I should be hurt, if that makes sense.
No,
It's
it
weird.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it absolutely makes sense. Nah, that's
Yeah, and then my mom's the one that taught me all the like the real lessons, like integrity. So like it's funny because I was trying not to kill the mood, because I know we joking and shit like that. But
our show goes all the way from ups, downs, and that's just how it is, bro.
But like even with that, like my mom's the one that instilled integrity into me, right? So like even at times when like I done cheated on my girlfriend at times, and my mom's is like, yeah, you should tell her. When all my homeboys is like, man, you tripping, take that shit to the grave. She'll never know. My mom's is like, nah, man, if you did something, you gotta own that. She always told me like, if you gonna whatever you decide to do in life, in general, whatever you decide to do, you got to look at the worst possible case scenario. If you can handle the worst possible case scenario, so be it. But if you can't handle the worst possible case scenario, even if you don't think it's fair, even if you think it's unjust, but if you can't handle the worst possible case scenario, don't do it. It ain't worth it, because the worst case scenario can happen to you, and you can't be mad if it do. You get what I'm saying? That's something simple as stealing from the store, and it's a $500 fine. We all looking like, ain't nobody about to get no $500 fine, right? Take that little piece of candy. It's 5 cents. Well, that 5 cents wasn't worth that fine that you took. So if you can't take that, don't do it. Like she taught me that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I understand the scenarios, but it's like I can't really understand that, because in my moments I was adult. Like, I didn't get those moments that, like, I was an adult and I'm like, man, I remember my mom told me this, so I got to stand on this. You get what I'm saying? Of course, there's other shit that came into it, like when I was coming up fucking with different bitches, because that was the standard that my environment created. So I thought that was cool. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with these hoes. Like, I thought that was cool. But then when I became an adult, I'm like, nah, that's the furthest thing from the truth. If that makes sense.
Ass.
Yes. That's what I always say. Like, whenever like I talk to my guy friends and they're like, oh, this, like, I did X, Y, and Z, but like I don't want anyone to know. I'm like, stop doing shit that you would be ashamed for someone to find out. Period. Like, just if you can't stand on it, don't do it.
Facts.
That's the facts.
How do you think that affected you? Like, cause you're a father now and stuff. And how does for some people, I never understood this. They'll have like a fucked up dad, and then or mom, whatever, and then they repeat the pattern, even if they like despise that person, right? For me, those examples, the examples that I had of parents that was bad, it made me do the opposite. Like, yo, I don't want to fuck with drugs. I don't want to do, like, I want to be a responsible person. Do you think that helped mold you, though, the all that terrible shit to be the person that you are now?
Yeah, for sure. I think it helped mold me, right? But I don't know. Like,
because you know, like sometimes a person can't become whatever they was if they didn't. It'll be like a person did a crime. They went to jail. They learned all this shit in jail. Now they come up and you can be Andre Norman, but you can't be Andre Norman without, shout out to Andre. You can't be him without that 14-year prison bid and all of that experience. He might have stayed on a narrow, on a straight and narrow path and lived a regular life, but will he become the prison to millions guy in the White House and doing all of it? Would that happen?
I think it's many different people in the world, right? And it's kind of like this conversation I have about the GOAT gene, right? I feel like some people can work to be LeBron James, but then some people just have it in them. Pause, if that makes sense, right? And I feel like it's many people, because the first thing that came to my mind, and I hate that, it made me think of like men and women. And I don't want to have that conversation, right? Because I feel like with me, I had so many things that went wrong and made me want to be a better person. But I see how some things can go wrong for other people and how they fall into the trap. Not intentionally though, right? But that's just a different conversation. I feel like with people though, some people can learn from mistakes. And I don't want to say other people don't learn from it, but some other people fall into it. Like, some people allow their mistakes. They don't allow the mistakes of others to affect their life, right? And other people, they have mistakes and they learn from it. Like, no, I don't need to touch that stove. It's hot. It's clearly hot.
Yeah.
I'm not the nigga that's going to change it from being hot. Other people like, man, I can touch it and I can withstand it. And now your fucking whole hand burnt. You get what I'm trying to say? So you have different people like that. And I just feel like I was one of the people that saw, and I didn't want to partake in it. Like, just from the hood, I talk.
Meats, bro. You sound like
but
me,
that's 50-50. That's the fuck up the percentage.
Well, and it's just like some people want a different outcome, and so they'll make different choices.
But think about it like this, right? What we talking about, that little boy in the hood, that was me, right? We talk about 50-50. One person is like, man, I'm not struggling. My mom's just struggling. I'm about to go make some money. I'm not going through this. It's another person that's in the hood who was me. It's like, I know that I need to make money, but if I do it the way that I see, my life is going to be just like everybody else. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
But also, I was firsthand in it, right? Like, from stories I hear, like, and again, I'm not trying to judge nobody, but some kids, they not really struggling, and they go in the hood because they just want more.
Yes.
I was really struggling. Like, I mean, like, really. So, and I saw what it did to my mother. Like, my mom's was on all type of drugs that, I mean, coke, crack, fucking heroin, like all of that. Like, probably not coke, because I think that was a rich drug, but like,
a form of it.
That's what crack was.
Yeah, crack, heroin, like dope. She was doing that for real. I seen it. I came to my mom's house. I seen her almost OD off a fucking needle in her arm. Swear to God. So I didn't want to ever partake in that life, because I'm like, I see what that life does. I'm good off of that, right? But I had friends who I thought was doing better than me that was carrying a rag and like trying to sell drugs, and they come to me like, I'm like, bro, I don't even rock like that.
That's the truest shit in the world, because me too, I grew up with a lot of people that felt like, oh, this was the only life that I could have chose and shit like that. And then when they express it, not to judge, but you do feel like, dog, you did have both of your parents, or your mom made good money, and I'm a nerd, and it'd be like, bro, I got kicked out of the house when I was 10. My mom was on crack. And when you stuff like that happens, you'd be like, I'm never gonna use drugs. Anything that would make you be like, get out, you could take him. You know what I'm saying? Anything that would change your mindset that much, I wanted no part of. But I feel everything
I
you said.
agree. Like influences, though, and we all come from struggles and shit, but influences play a part too. Because although we see our parents doing this, like, yo, I'm not doing this. If we not around the right people,
Facts.
you'll begin to get into it unconsciously. So I was always old heads who was trapping and doing other shit
Facts.
that
Come
wouldn't
on.
allow us to do it. It's like,
Facts.
no, you play ball, you go to
Facts.
school, you this kid. When you got real niggas around you, they can see that, yo, this is not for you. We're gonna try our best to keep you out of it. But everybody don't got that. You got a kid that an old head get a pack to. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a
it's
fact.
like it's a little bit of being intelligent, but also having the right people around you.
Let's rewind that back though, because I used to say that too, because my old heads used to like tell me to stay in school and shit like that, but they saw that in me. So I definitely got to give respect to home first, my mom's, because she's the one that instilled me into even trying it, right? Because I've had other friends I talked to on the interviews and shit, and they like, nah, like my homies kept me close because they already knew I was going to do it. So if I was kind of like the parent when they said, if you're going to drink, I'd rather you drink, or smoke, you going to smoke with me because I know I ain't going to put nothing, I'm going to keep you safe. So I understand that perspective, because I remember I just had a conversation with somebody that gangbang, and I'm like, bro, like back in our day, the drug dealers was telling us to stay in school and play ball. And he like, nah, I just ain't want to do that. So they just took me in so they can know that they got my back, if that makes sense. So I definitely want to get that respect to my mom's, because she did put me in sports and I did like it. And it's one thing to be like, man, I ain't have a father figure, but that's a lie, because I did. I played sports coming up, and my coaches were they were good men that was played a father figure role in my life. Yeah, they ain't buy me shoes and shit like that, but they were the men that I looked to that was like, man, nah, those dudes the people I want to be like when I get older type shit.
Damn, we just learned so much, man, about a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, we really did, man. We learned a whole bunch about this billionaire. That is very interesting. There's probably a lot of people, man, that are actually in similar situations and have there's somebody's namesake, whatever. And like I said, I can't judge it. That's up to you to judge. But I did think about it from the standpoint of view, like, well, damn. What if it was a situation where a person thought, like, I'm gonna go in there and save this, and then found out they wasn't man enough, or whatever the case may be? That's crazy. But yeah, for whoever that was that sent that in, because I'm glad Slice didn't say your name, because
I be fucking up.
Y'all know he be fucking up.
He be snitching on people.
Accidentally telling is not snitching.
Listen.
What?
Listen, you could see from just this conversation, we end up in different places, but how important it is for a father and son to have their bond. Do not throw that away because your wife or your baby mom or whatever made a ridiculous mistake that put a child in a situation where he had to make an adult decision per se. You know what I mean? Because this wasn't his sin to even be in this type of situation for real. And but this happens with everything. Kids run out, they play around in the streets, but then they around a murder, and then niggas expect them to hold it down in some other way. Bro, you know what 15-year-olds are really like, 14-year-olds? They're fucking kids.
But that's not holding it down though, bro. I feel like niggas in the streets that's really in the streets understand that. They understand gangster activities and street activities from civilian activities, right? And that's the difference between the generation and my perspective, right? When I was growing up, although I wasn't playing in the streets, I understood the rules of the streets, right? So I understood that I'm never going to do something that I don't want found out around nobody. I don't give a fuck who you were, right? I'm never going to retaliate off of something the next day. You never, like, it's things that you understand coming up in them parts of the neck of the woods, right? And I feel like niggas in the streets now is like they throw around this snitch word loosely. If a kid come around and see something and they tell, bro, they didn't ask to be a part of that. You asked to be a part of that, so you got to be more careful.
But also, let's say they did ask to be a part of that, right? This is my opinion. I'll stand on this with anybody. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all niggas. I just have to keep it a 1,000. Even when a kid is young and stuff like that, and they say they want to be a part of something like that, and people hold them to that, but they don't hold that to them for anything else. You don't feel like a 14-year-old girl should be able to say, I'm fucking. You don't feel like a kid is supposed to be able to smoke cigarettes. You don't feel like he's supposed to join the army. Because a motherfucker, if they made a rule like, okay, if y'all saying y'all kids could join a gang and stand on it, then America, we going to abide by y'all same rules, and we going to let y'all kids, if they want to sign up to the military, they coming in at 14. We wouldn't.
Right.
So with some of that shit, and the other part is the civilian word. Civilian, street niggas is civilians. They're civilians and they're soldiers. I refuse to call street niggas soldiers. You're not a fucking soldier, my nigga. So I'm going to stand on that. We all fucking civilians. That's why when you do a crime, you get locked up by soldiers, people were part of a fucking army, cops, the niggas that you don't want to go against. You don't have an army. If you had an army, they would stop you from going through the court system. You wouldn't have all y'all niggas locked the fuck up, getting your buttholes open, keeping your sandwiches cold.
Yeah, one second. I just want to take us back.
Keeping your sandwiches cold in a motherfucking toilet. Yeah.
I understand.
What the fuck you look at me for?
I'm about to say,
Stormy gonna pack you when you get home at the halfway house anyway.
I understand what you're saying, right? But we can't ignore that it's different rules for different environments, right? You're not going to do the same thing in a college, university that you're going to do the same that you're going to do on the street. You're not going to act the same in around your podcast that you would do on a job or a corporate job, right? Or in your business when you're doing your production. You're just not going to do that. I don't agree with the street rules, right? But to be honest, again, because I was there, I'm aware enough to understand that the rules, it ain't no rules in the streets. So everything that we're saying is kind of make believe because it don't even make sense. So I get what you're saying.
It doesn't make sense.
But I can acknowledge it because I have the understanding and interpretation of it, if that makes sense. Because again, I grew up around it, although I wasn't a part of it. So what I'm gonna say is, it's unfortunate that a child has to be a part of that anyway. Point blank period. They should never have to be a part of that. But that's just the cards that we were dealt. So the moment that they are part of that, unfortunately, they are part of this environment that has no rules. So if they are a part of it, no matter what the age is, and people may not like this, they are
in the game.
And it's unfortunate.
So real quick, this is what I'm. That's
unfortunate.
We're not going to go that. We go as far. The rules are an idea. Because if we're in a game and something can happen, then it's a part of the rules. A lot of people that go into the game know that at the end of the day, I can do this. I can snitch. I'll just get called something, or somebody might try to do something for me, but I can do it. And a lot of people enter the game with the mindset of, if I ever get caught, I'm gonna do this, and I'm willing to ride out with whatever. There's tough snitches. So there's people. So the whole rule set is all created to protect people from the people that's up top. I got these niggas out here doing this, a little boy doing this. I want to be able to commit crimes in the neighborhood I grew up in, scare the old ladies, do whatever, and nobody tell them.
To a certain degree.
Most of it.
To a certain degree. Because I agree with the no snitching when we both in on it. Like I'm 100%. If you and I do something together, and one of us get caught, if I snitch, I deserve whatever street consequence that come with it.
But what I'm saying in this conversation, because we getting all over the place. I don't want to get off track. I'm getting all over the place. But if you decide, like a lot of niggas I know, to go do your crime, you 27, the boy you got with you is 15, then it's going to be some different results that come from that. And you got to understand the same way you understand that you don't hold the 15-year-old accountable for a whole bunch of other shit. You know he's going to react different. His frontal lobe doesn't even fucking develop for 10 years.
Because none of us are street niggas in here, right? I just want to, like, let's bring the conversation to us, right? We don't operate on them type of rules, and I feel like those are things that we can talk about, we can play about, we can entertain the conversation, but that ain't our life, right? So let's bring it back to it. What I had to learn coming up was everything that apply in the streets can apply in my grown-up life, in my everyday life, if I change my thinking, right? Okay. So snitching. Fuck snitching is really about integrity. It's really about keeping your word, right? So if we have a business together, right, and I fuck up, I have to own that. Point blank period. That's what a man is. If we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing and I engage in an activity, right, I should own. It goes back to the cheating. As a grown man, I understand to think and move and operate as a grown man. So if I do something that I didn't move integral, I have to own that as a man. And you shouldn't have to worry about that because you understand that who you dealing with, who you next to is a man. You get what I'm saying?
And the key word you said is as a man. That's the most important part about it for me. When a nigga is 14, he ain't no motherfucking man. And I know because I'm raising one. And the motherfucker can't even clean his room. Motherfucker can't do the dishes right. Like the shit that they do is just like, they're babies, and that's what I mean is the difference in that.
But at 12 years old, my mother told me this, bro. She said, you gotta be careful because some mistakes are too costly to make. And some mistakes can cost you your life.
bounce
So
back.
even at 14 years old, your son has to know that it's certain things I cannot protect you from. My mom used to tell me that. So at 12, she used to tell me that you gotta be careful out here because it's certain things that once you leave this house, I cannot protect you. I can love you, I can do my best, but I can't protect you. And I think that's why I love my mom so much because she instilled that into me.
Right.
So I understood at a very young age it was certain shit that I couldn't do, and it was certain shit I couldn't come back from. But I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Dev, I got one. Somebody, I told him I would do this question. It's a little serious, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we want to go this direction, but I did give him my promise that I would do it. And since we got some ladies here, I think they'll be able to give us some good input on it.
Okay, let's get into it.
Oh, shit, man. That's Jones. So y'all be patient with me because this is a person. All right, so
Don't say the name.
yeah, that's why I'm
Thank
being
you.
slow,
Try,
ladies
try.
and gentlemen, because
Take
I
your
don't want to
time.
fuck up this
You're
person.
just being
I
real.
can't get this
Because
person
you
booked.
saying names. Like,
I don't got this person's name even on here. So
Okay.
let's say a woman writes in. She says she had sex with a 15-year-old boy, but it was 14 years ago. She was 33 at the time,
Damn.
but was going through a dark time, she says. So she blocked it out basically and forgot it even happened, according to what she tells me, right? But she goes into a parking garage and runs into the young man again later, and like 14 years later. She felt like she had to give him the number, but she felt guilty, and she just doesn't know how to even deal with this. She like, she
like
know-
he hollered at her.
regularly,
Oh,
but
okay.
she knows, he gave her the number. He's older now, but she still regrets this decision. But she how she says, she doesn't really talk to him on the phone or anything. She still feels that guilt, but she's having difficulty coping with this. But she wants to know, should she be judged? Because she was going through a dark time and it was years and years ago. I'll let the ladies talk about
yeah.
freaking
Fuck.
younger men or some shit.
Can
Can you forgive it?
I think that to each his own. I don't think you needed to exchange numbers, especially if you already know that it was wrong. You have guilt now because you know you didn't really need it. That man said good morning to you. He did not ask for your number. You did not have to overextend yourself because you have a pass. I'm not judging you. Just go talk to the lady and move better. That's all. Are you still out here freaking on 15-year-olds? If not, then no, you already learned your lesson. If you're trying to deal with cope with whatever you went through, that's a conversation you need to have with a therapist.
Hold on, you said talk to the lady. What do you mean? Oh, you mean
A therapist.
Yeah, so they only talk to a lady. Talk to the lady.
Like
That's
sit on the
crazy.
couch, and not Dev's couch either. A real therapist couch.
You sit on this couch, that
Yeah,
might
yeah.
Damn, man, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas?
Sheesh.
What you think about that, Maura?
You gonna get fucked on the rig.
I think
Wouldn't be the
that's
first
crazy. I don't know. I feel like she doesn't need to spin the block on that.
I don't think she said.
I don't know. Does it sound
I mean,
like
well, why else would you give him your
Yeah.
number?
I think she felt like, I don't know. I guess that could be uncomfortable. I don't know. I never fucked the 14
I mean, I feel like in that point in time, like I feel like I would be like, if I saw him again, I would be like, I honestly I feel bad for what happened then. Like you were just a kid.
So let me ask you this: do you think that a woman that did that, from the way she told, do you think that makes her a bad person?
No.
No, because if that was the case, the world would be full with bad people. Because according to all y'all men, y'all all went to some house or freaked off your first time with some older lady, and that was you getting your badge of honor. So we can't sit here and say she's a bad person or she needs to be judged.
I want to spin it. I want to spin it.
Oh, this is
Stormy. I'm a
difficult.
33-year-old man. I go out here and fuck a 13-year-old girl.
No,
I'm a bad person.
It's different. I will say that according to y'all, it's different. We say it's bad when older people have sex, but when we say that to y'all are saying, "Oh no, my first time was with an older woman and it was fine. My daddy took me. My big uncle took me to a house and had me with an older lady. It was cool."
I don't
Y'all say it's
I think
cool.
a lot of people thought it was cool when they was younger, but I think a lot of grown men that went through those type of situations don't view it as cool necessarily now.
So you
We-
think
yeah.
looking back, like
No, so what niggas do is people, if we call it what it's called in molestation or whatever, people are just more forthcoming with when it happened with the opposite sex. It's not as embarrassing to a man to be like, I got molested by a lady when I was 14 years old. The ones that don't really talk about it as much as when it happens with with a man,
agree.
with a
Yes,
man, right?
yes.
So you're gonna hear a lot of those stories, and I knew of plenty of those situations too. Growing up, stuff that happened in my family, that happened with my brother and stuff like that, with a fucking woman that had to be like 35 now, like adding up the age and stuff like that. And for you know, this was a pretty like regular woman. I don't look at her as like a psychopath or nothing like that, but the fact that people are doing shit like this, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna call one person a bad person, do you think a man is a bad person if he's 35 years old and he's sleeping with a 14-year-old girl?
I mean, yeah, it's a bad job.
Yes.
It is.
What you think, Jay?
35 fucking with a 15-year-old. I think is disgusting. I think you know better at that age. What I will say now, it's tricky when we talk about 18, 19, 20, 21, even up to like 24. Because a lot of times we put this grown age on 21, and that's not necessarily true.
True.
Right? So I think that should have some type of, not discernment, but like grace. 21 to like 25, maybe 25. But 35, bro, come on.
So you speaking,
Oh, you're saying like a 21-year-old and like a 15. Yeah, something like that.
He's saying that as much as he knows, because I want to make sure that I'm clarifying so people not taking what he's saying wrong, right? And then you could tell me if I'm wrong.
It's fine.
He's saying obviously that this thing is wrong, but when he's trying to live in a realistic world of grace and saying, even from a scientific standpoint, what I was talking about with the kid, that people are really not mature. When you think about what you were before 25, it's a fucking huge fucking difference.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You'll hang around somebody that's 22 right now, and I can't tell the difference between them and my son. And that's just the God's. My son is 16 years old, and they're the same. They got the same little. They're the fucking same. So I understand that. I want to stay on this, but this is interesting because it has parallels to the situation before. But sometimes when things are sex, people judge it different than crime. But it's the same in improper relationship between a full-grown adult and a child, whether they're having sex, whether you got them as your partner committing crime. But I think it is easier to see the person as a child or as disgusting when they had sex, not so much when they went on a drive-by. And I think that part needs to be fixed.
Right.
15-year-old boy goes on a drive-by with the big homie. Now he got to hold it down, and he knew what he was doing. But when it's sex, it's like he didn't know what he was doing. He was just 15 years old. And I think that we got to start looking at those things a little bit.
No. Both of those, the kid get grace. Both situations, the kid get grace. Like, if a 15-year-old go in the drive-by, like, it's messed up. But we don't look at it like that 15-year-old was fucked up. It's like, damn, that environment was fucked up. Like, I know.
I'm talking about from the part where when shit crunches and they got him in that room and that light is swinging, he's like, yeah, well, I did it, and Mr. So-and-so told me. Because he's a kid. That's why he did that, because he's a fucking child. And that's what I'm saying. The same way in these sexual situations, one of them mentally is not on a certain level. You know what I mean? But I do want to stay with this particular
I thought his point was even good, because it sounds crazy, because if I heard a 23 messing with a 15-year-old, I'd be like, yo, you out of pocket. But when you really look at the difference in age, at the point when I'm 30 and I'm 36 and she 30, or whatever the difference in age that was, it's not looked at as bad because it's a couple years later. So I don't know if that has to do with the physical development more than the mental or whatever, but I do feel like you make a good point. You got to have a little more grace for a kid that's 19, 20, 23 messing with a 15-year-old as opposed to a 30-year-old.
I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of y'all, people not going to want to hear this. A lot of y'all moms, aunts, sisters for the older fellas, they had these experiences with young boys in the neighborhood. Most niggas that I knew was losing their virginities and stuff like that.
I lost mine at like 12 to like a girl that was supposed to be babysitting me. She was just older.
Always happens, bro.
Yeah. Like I remember vividly, like, what's all this hair? I remember that vividly when I was 12. It was years ago. You know what I'm saying? So now you're right. I think thank God for it's funny because these podcasts be going crazy, but at the same time, thank God for so many microphones, because people are speaking out, and now we know what was wrong. Right? Thank God for these words like narcissism and fucking gaslighting, because now we understand what self-love is, right? If we didn't have that, it has to be a contrast. Now we understand that, yeah, you might have to go look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, wow, I did some fucked up shit. Because you know better. When we was coming up, we didn't know we were slave to our environment. You get what I'm saying? My only thing is owning it.
Yeah.
What happened is I think the world and people think everybody ain't a celebrity. We got real shit going on, and you can own, and that's why I try to tell my friends and everybody, like, bro, self-evaluation is the best evaluation. You gotta get right with yourself. But I can see on one part it's hard because the moment somebody try to own, like it's a thin line between like statute of limitations and like self-snitching. You know what I'm saying? People are scared because they feel like they gonna get Me Too, bro. You ain't Diddy. You ain't fucking R. Kelly. Niggas don't give a fuck that much about you. With all due respect. But I'm saying that to say you can own. I'm not saying that they can't, but I'm saying you can own up to some shit that happened. You get what I'm saying? And we should be able to have grace for you. But so many people on these internet, they are like that shit don't stink.
Like
so they so quick. They so quick to get on the internet, be like, yeah, this motherfucker, this person.
That's for real. When you go into those in the comment section and stuff, you would think that these people had a perfect life, perfect environment.
Yeah.
About every little thing. So I definitely see what you're talking about there.
These
it sounds
teachers,
like
these nice looking, sexy ass teachers is fucking on these students, and I just don't know why my teachers ain't fucked me.
Because
I would have never told them. I would have never.
See, this is the problem.
These dudes, these would have never told dog.
Listen, man,
These young boys are snitches.
That was bad. That was bad.
No.
That's just
As a kid, when I was thinking, that's what I'm thinking. Not now,
I'm
but
gonna tell you why it's so bad. A lot of times the imprint that these women had on the young boys, like with her, she ran into him somewhere. It's very possible, to be honest, that he asked for that. No, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. And he really probably on some. I'm grown now. I'm telling you, you thought
I would be
100%.
I ain't bust your ass before.
I really know how to fuck down.
Right. But what happens is that lady could be like fetishized. Like that imprint that she got on him is very strong, and that's why she has to be responsible not to be able to like exploit that now. Because now when they get back on that phone, however that thing goes, she's in some form of control that she's might have had over this nigga's life in general. Right. That shit probably affected his life in general, him having sex with other girls when he was young. You know what I'm saying? It's like usually people don't have sex like that and then just stop for 4 years. You know,
if I can, right? Because I'm talking to men, and I want the ladies to chime in too, if y'all can. Because I experienced these type of things, like dealing with older women when I was younger. I feel like it is a difference. We talk about like just gender roles. I can see it because when I was coming up, the woman, the older ladies that I was having sex with, they was doing things that I wanted to do. I enjoyed that act. They could have manipulated me, but it wasn't that. But when I reverse it, I feel like from every story that I hear with an older guy dealing with a younger woman, they are manipulating them into doing things that they don't really want to do. Right?
You were manipulated, but continue.
The thing about manipulation is it usually doesn't feel like manipulation.
That's perfect manipulation.
Yeah.
If you do it in that way, bro, all them scenarios, bro, it's almost a playbook. You know how like even when you figured out how to bag Jones, a lot of times you set up the same routine. Yeah. Like you kind of knew.
You're manipulating the situation to work for you.
You knew like I get them over. It's been working. When they come over at this time, I put on this movie, this John board. I put on No Country for Old Men.
What the fuck?
The beginning is boring, so they gonna start fucking. I'm just saying. It's my personal. This is my personal.
His recipe.
Yeah, recipe.
Put the slow shit on.
Yeah, turn on the same movie every joint, and I knew that they're gonna watch that joint and they're gonna just start getting it popping. But what I'm saying is, a lot of those situations was the woman being in the house that's a friend of your mom, whatever the case may be, y'all alone. She probably in the house because she lost her job, she kicked out, now she on the couch in the living room. Now she's saying little shit to you. Oh, you ain't my mama, I'm a grown man. You ain't no grown man with your little boy. What you be thinking? You getting your little dick wet or something? And then you think, and that it's a flirting that goes back and forth between people, where they going back and forth with this woman. I'm a grown ass man.
But Jay got a point. At 16, I think I was the
want that.
aggressor.
Yeah, that's what I'm. And it's,
You
it's
understand what I'm saying?
unfortunate.
He was 12.
I mean, at 12, I understand, but even when you get this teenage
But even
years,
at 12, I'm like, man, we playing house.
but the thing is,
I want to play house.
She's exploiting your bull. She knows this is easy prey.
Yeah.
He giving up that dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, hello.
Yeah.
Then you get to go to school and be like, y'all, guess what I just did?
Yeah.
She knows that in most situations, bro, she thought she show her ass cheek.
That's disgusting and it's wrong. I'm just having the conversation there, right? I'm not saying that that's okay. All I'm saying is in that moment, I wanted that, right? And I don't.
Girls wanted R. Kelly too.
But no, I'm saying from my experience, nothing came after that outside of sex. It was nothing else. And just from what I hear, when it comes to men, is a lot of things that's happening outside of sex. Now I want you to do this. Now I need you to have somebody else have sex with you, and I need to watch. Now I need you to. It's a lot of things outside of the sex. I'm just saying, from my experience, it was sex, and that was it. But from men, I hear the R. Kelly thing. You want to be chained up. You can't have this. You can't do this. I want to control your environment. That wasn't my experience. And the guys that I talked to, it wasn't their experience. They just fucked the old chick. And
I'm sure it was some niggas that just
and
was
if anything,
fucking
they
them.
probably was giving them some money. Like it was.
No, I think that extremes are always going to stand out like a little
Right.
bit more, because I think that there are definitely plenty of stories where it was just sex for women as well. Like,
Okay.
you know, Mr. So-and-so or Uncle So-and-so just comes over, does whatever,
That's
and then it's
disgusting.
done.
Uncle sounds disgusting.
I'm just
But
saying.
this is the reality.
But I'm just
Go ahead.
saying, y'all know that a lot of people you grew up with had uncles that wasn't blood. You know what I mean? And I think, just to go back to the story standpoint, I think at the end of the day, sis, just give yourself grace. If you said you was in a bad place and you know now, you can
Own it,
acknowledge,
though.
like you said, like self-reflect, like
Own it.
stand up and own it. Like, yeah, it was wrong. You're not doing it now.
Apologize to that man.
That's
again.
what I was going to
Yeah,
get to. Like,
exactly.
if anything, if you have the number and you feel like it's something on your chest that you really want to speak to him about, have that conversation. with
Should
him
she be
and then
arrested?
have that. What?
And that's what I'm saying. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
people
yeah,
can't own it,
yeah.
because they're scared. That's a real conversation.
It's a real conversation. Should she be arrested? Because I know if it was the other way around, gender role,
for sure.
y'all
What, you're
want him
saying
behind.
years later she could be
I'm
arrested?
just saying, if this story ever
Yeah.
got out, should she be arrested for her past? I don't know the statute of
If you're saying-
limitation
if
on.
you're
Well,
saying-
that's like what we went back to earlier, like about what he was saying about integrity and stuff. It's like, you know, that would be the worst case scenario, is that you go to jail for that. So like,
But asking the question, I think it's hard because I have a 14-year-old, right? And I can't imagine a 30-year-old having sex with my daughter at this moment, right? Again, I'm still growing, and so I don't have all the answers, right? I still have some type of mentality from where I came from. So in my mind, these things are happening because these niggas ain't getting fucked up. Again, I know this is ignorant.
No,
right?
it's not
I know,
ignorant. It's
I'm just
not
being real.
ignorant.
So like,
I'm glad that you're able to hold both sides.
in my mind, I'm like, I can't even imagine that right now, right? So it's like, I automatically want to say yes. But I'm assuming if I'm 20 years past and it happened, I wouldn't want that to happen. I would want justice for my daughter, right? But I can't understand that hypothetical question now because my daughter is 14.
But I'm gonna say something too. The niggas getting fucked up part is partially true. I'm gonna tell you why it's partially true. When those dudes groom people, they find out things like, do you got a dad around? They find the threats. They're not as into fucking with the little girl whose older
Protected.
brother is
Aggressive.
the big homie in the Bloods
That's
down
a
the street,
fact.
and all, they like, okay, I'm gonna fall back on that. But when they find those people that don't have those shields of protection, it's like, oh, this is prime. You know what I'm saying? And it could even happen with, so when you talked about, when you think about something like that with your daughter in a different parallel universe, right? Sometimes that molester isn't a 35-year-old man. It's a 35-year-old woman. So you gonna feel the same way when you find out your little girl is fucking with a gay woman or
And
something
she needs
like
to
that.
be
that's
punched
a
on
grown-
too.
But
you
even
feel
if it's a son though, fuck the daughter.
Yeah.
Even if my son is 15 and I found out that you fucking on somebody that's 35. Yeah, when I was young, I thought it was cool, but I found out. When I was a boy, I thought as a boy, but until I became an adult, I put away my childish ways. So I'm saying that even as a boy, as much as we can joke about this shit, because this was our experience, we're just joking about our experience. Just like rappers rap about their experience. That don't mean that they're living in it right now.
Right.
The same thing applies. We can have these conversations because that happened to us. We're qualified to have this because it happened, right? But I'm saying that doesn't have to be the reality now because I know better. So even if I have a 15-year-old boy and a 35-year-old woman that's fucking on her, no, I don't dap you up. And who the fuck is this woman on some, she's weird and she need to get fucked up. For real.
And a lot of these people, when you keep hearing about like the teachers and all this stuff that's going on in the news, you got to remember that a lot of people are getting these jobs for their fetish. They're not
disgusting,
just, it's not like.
She went and got her teacher
wait,
certain
you
to fuck on kids.
You mean to tell me she don't really give a fuck about geometry?
No.
Come on, I don't believe that.
No.
She a certified student.
Listen, she didn't pay all them student loans to fuck young boys. She could have just gave the money up.
She got a certification to fuck a young nigga.
Yo, these people that become people that work at the daycare and they doing all this crazy shit in that motherfucker, they wasn't just like, I always wanted to take care of kids, so I learned CPR and went through all the stuff to be a care professional. But then I got there, saw the kids around and said, I'm just gonna start a fight league with these little 3-year-olds. That's not what these motherfuckers was already
plotting.
Sick. And a lot of people put themselves in just the same way that we know that police officers, a lot of niggas grew up, not saying all cops is bitches.
Cops is pussies, what he trying to say to y'all.
A lot of people, bro. A lot of people.
That's true, bro.
No,
we had a neighborhood cop in my projects. I forgot your name, but he was like the nigga that everybody know. He used to come around, fuck with niggas and shit like that. Because I'm pretty sure he was a bitch.
Yep.
So he wanted to come around and like use his badge of honor. Like, man, without that badge, you was a bitch in that. Like, for real. Like, I don't know. Again, I never was no street nigga, but like I experienced this shit. That shit, like I don't fuck with some of these niggas, bro. They be weird, bro.
Yeah. People will use that to get in those.
To go back to it, I'm sorry. Again, not to make you so serious. That's the importance of 2-parent households. If anything else, because you can learn from different scopes. A lot of the things that I'm thinking I learned from my wife, right? I learned that these aren't right. These things aren't right, and it shouldn't have no difference between man or woman. Right? The importance of boundaries, right? When it comes to family, like we talk about uncles, right? Because when we was younger, it was, yo, your uncle isn't here. Come say hi. Your aunt isn't here.
Yep.
Even if you didn't want to.
Yep.
Now we're learning the importance of, yo, I don't feel like being bothered. Now I don't have to be forced in a environment that I don't want to be a part of, and I'm teaching that to my kid. I didn't even know that I had the ability to
say no.
Right?
Say no.
So
Literally.
So what that happened is your parents unintentionally is grooming you to be uncomfortable. So now you're in a position you don't want to be in. So now when your uncle say, come here, let me holler at you, you think it's normal because your mother always told you to go in the room
give him
and
money.
say
Yeah,
hi.
what? Say
And you didn't
hi,
want
be
to,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
So
like,
now
they're just playing.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're fucking not. They're weird.
you get what I'm saying? Now you don't know any better. So now when they are being weird, you're like, okay, I'll come over, right? But that's the importance of 2-family households because I wouldn't even have been able to see it from that point of view because I didn't grow up in that. And I'm not a woman and I didn't understand that. Right? Because when I was young, I liked it. It just is what it is. Now I understand the importance of the other side. Right? And now I can also instill some discipline and some structure in the house where my daughter won't even move a certain way because she know her daddy will fuck her up. Like respectfully though. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes mothers be a little lenient. It's just you need that balance, like that
The
balance.
yin and yang.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times what happens is we argue about that in a household when it's going on. And I understand that because it's different opinions, but we got to learn to love that. We got to learn to appreciate that because the thing that you're not giving, I'm giving, even if you don't agree with it. And at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of our kid. That's what it's about. But in the moment, it's friction. It's like, nah, because I want her to, and that's okay though. As long as it's respectful, that's okay. Because guess what? The kid is reaping from that. I think that's the importance of two
parents being on the same page.
You
Yeah.
know what
Oh
I'm
man,
saying?
so we learned from the billionaire, the preacher.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The life experience master. You know, we learned from him that the 2-parent household is very important. So what that did was I like the way all things happen to tie up. Because I like there to be some kind of resolution of what we're talking about. Now, with him saying the 2-parent household is very important, I can understand.
Back to story number 1.
I can kind of understand why the homie was like, man, I don't want to blow this joint up. I like my 2-parent household. I want to be able to talk to both of these niggas.
This nigga.
There you go.
You got to be able to hold on to all
You
the
killed
layers
2
at
birds with one stone. Fuck it. Yeah, that's
What
good.
you're saying though about like weird is an energy. Like you know when someone's being weird, and it can go like that could just bleed onto like any topic basically. You know, like you know when energy is off, but like you're saying, like a lot of times we're taught to like regulate the room basically. Like you don't want it to be weird energy. Well, it fucking is, and like let's just call a spade and move accordingly to that, rather than trying to keep everybody just comfortable. Like, for what?
I agree, man. I love what we did here, man. You know what I'm saying? I think we are up about out of time or whatever like
Final
that.
words from me. Don't be touching these babies out here, you
Hold on,
freak
matter
ass young boy.
of fact, I gotta do this. I gotta
Go
do
ahead.
this, yo. We got a celebrity here, right? We got a celebrity in the building, man. Won't you come on,
my man.
Come
I'm about to say, yeah,
move over to the
yeah.
microphone, man. Come, sit down, brother. Sit down, man. Because I know there has to be some form of words of wisdom from the one and only Wolf before we get out of here. From Wolf, man, you've been here hearing this whole discussion. Did you have any tidbit or something that you wanted us to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like y'all said a lot about a lot, so I think it'd make it easier for me if y'all throw out one of the topics and then
No, I'm just saying on the one that with the lady who's feeling obviously she's feeling conflicted for her to even send this in to Slice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that it is unfortunate, you know what I mean, for somebody to be in a particular space and make a certain decision, which I do agree to having grace to the mindset, but I still think accountability is necessary. You know what I mean? I think that it took a lot for her to put that out there, and it must have been weighing on her heavy. And it goes back to what Hill said about some decisions are too costly to make. But I don't think that should just apply to the men that's out here. I think it applies to people. So we got to start thinking ahead. Like, you got to learn how to use accountability as a shield. Like, if you're going to accept what come with it, then accept what come with it. But if you can't accept what come with it, then you got to did that beforehand.
Right.
Like, it's not something that you want to reflect on and not, I mean, then come back 20 years later like, well, now I'm triggered because I just seen this person that I did something that I now know. I probably knew it was wrong then, but it didn't feel wrong because it go to the emotion part. Like, it didn't feel wrong, but I know that it's wrong. And now I'm looking back on it like, damn, I don't want to have to face this truth. I'm saying that, think about that before you do it. The same way we'd tell a young boy, before you pull that trigger, you know what I mean? Before you do that, you know what I mean? Understand what come with it. So, you know, it goes to the same. So I think that the guilt she living in is well deserved. And if she don't get punished by the criminal justice system, that's fine, but you still got to live with that.
No, that's a fact.
And
That's
I
my
think
thoughts.
people become more aware of this stuff because Jay talked about a lot about like the new words that are becoming narcissists, you know what I'm saying? Gaslight and all these things. The culture was different. I'm older than you, bro. And in the culture that I came from before, there was a lot more of the older people dealing with and it was blatant. Everything from the stuff we talk about where the bull come to the high school and pick them up. It
It was in all the songs.
It wasn't.
It was in all the songs.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it. How I know that if you take yourself back to that time, people didn't look at it as wrong, is it wasn't hidden. It was literally like, see the teachers, they used to go to the school. How you doing, Mr. Feinstein? What's up, man? How you? You know what I mean? Doing my thing, working down at the plant. And then the girl come out the school, get in the car, and that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I think also that this person might be looking at the scope of the world changing, and it might have also let them realize how bad what they did was wrong. Because also growing up in the drug world and all of that kind of stuff, a lot of women that were on drugs that were grown were 100% fucking with any 14, 13-year-old boy that had that rock. If you had that was just a part of the
And it wasn't
life.
a lot in my neighborhood, but it was like one or two that really was like young and had motion. Like, I don't know if the pops might have died, and like they really was like distributing to the older niggas, the teenagers, having them self-form, and they was the top guy. And if you really wanted to do something, you go to that. So I understand it. And also it was like phrases. I used to say this again, like it was phrases that been used, and that was okay. Like, if it's grass on the field, it's time to play ball. If she old enough to cross the street, she old enough to get hit. Like, these were sayings that happened back in the day. So it was clearly a thing. So that's the only reason why I say it can be some grace. It should be, because what happened is this new way of the world makes it hard for it to be grace, because we can't just act like that didn't exist. Like, that wasn't that wasn't an experience. Like, that was a reality.
That was culture.
People try to rewrite the history or apply today's rules to an old game.
And it's not okay. We know that it's not okay. But Wolf said a great point. She don't have to be, and people might disagree. I don't think she should be arrested, right? But guess what? Conscience is real. And you're going to be a slave to how you feel for the rest of your life. And that, to me, is like
Punishment.
You know what I'm saying? And in this conversation, people always, if they know, they should call you something. You might not have to be arrested, but I think that's the price you pay. And I think you should be able to live with that. If that make like not want to, but if that makes sense.
100%. And real quick, just like if somebody got if a woman has a detailed past with a lot of men, to somebody she always gonna be a hoe. You know what I mean? It's like that. You wear that Scarlet A. So I just think that what is hers? Like a Scarlet R or something? Like what Scarlet M? Like
No, damn,
what is it? It's some type of
man,
Scarlet M.
That's crazy.
But no, all in all though, I think just as humans, man, and I'll make this and I'll give you your seat back, so I'll get back over there. I just think that as humans, grace, like Hill said, is very necessary. But at the same time, it's like she just to speak to we can't undo the past, you know what I mean? But speaking to the future, she gotta, if she can't find the way, she don't want to live with the guilt, she got to find a way to accept and within herself to where though she felt like, damn, like I can rectify this. I can't go back and change it, but whatever she could do moving forward to make sure that she find acceptance in the situation. That's the only way she's gonna mentally free herself. But if not, I mean, like you said, she's gonna be a slave to it. And I just think that you do deserve to be that when you do so, cause like we all did fucked up shit in our life. Like it ain't gotta be that deep. Like we ain't gotta do that. But you stole or something.
Look, I'm paying the camera into this nigga real.
Not me though. Stay safe.
We all did fucked up shit. As you zoom in, like
not that fucked up though.
Yo, we about with the thought bubble, got him committing all kind of crimes and shit.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, that you still got we did shit that, you know, that we still have to live with. And I think that, you know, that's just what the situation is. Hers is just that's her bed, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
And how are you moving forward from it though? Right? Like it might be hard, it might be scary, but are you an activist on this now? Right? Are you helping other people not be able to commit these crimes because you saw it? Like I'm an activist on 100%. Self-development because I was unable to hold my emotions intact. So I did a lot of things out of anger, put out a lot of schools, and now I speak on that because I don't want young kids, young boys specifically, to go through what I went through. Are you being an activist on your mistakes to help people not go through the same thing?
Unfortunately, in this particular instance, she can't.
I was just
because imagine if she become like some top advocate for, you know, childhood rights and molestation, and then low key somebody comes out and says like, "Yo, but she touched me."
Homie comes forward. Homie comes
everything
forward.
she's done undone. Like all the work that she's done,
she only
is
can
now
do
undone.
it if she only can do it if
you
she
own
comes
it.
clean about it.
Yeah, you gotta own it.
You can't. She only can do it if she own it. You
gotta
can't
own
do it without owning it. You can't be the face of nothing without standing in your mistakes.
But again, you're not.
But if that's
Sensitive
what
topic.
it is, that's what it was. Like, but your past doesn't equal your future.
Right.
Your past doesn't equal your future, but as soon as she opens her mouth and says, "Yo, when I was 33, I had sex with someone,"
She's not Oprah Winfrey.
But this is what I'm saying.
Nobody is.
But no. What I'm saying is,
respectfully,
like when she says that, no one is going to care what else comes out her mouth, especially when it has to deal with that topic.
Because it's still happening.
I just feel like that's so
close-minded. It's too sensitive because it's still somebody's reality.
Listen, if that
100%,
woman
you're right. I stand
decided,
corrected.
if I invited this woman to come on this show and she said that, millions of shares. And that just being known as, oh yeah, I know that, almost like how a meme person gets known. So I can see that happen. Wolf, thank you so much. Thank you so much for jumping on the Wolf, don't send me an invoice, bro.
No.
All of a sudden I got a motherfucking invoice, yo. But something else super important. You know, normally, and I always gotta bring this up and fuck with her because I gotta spread the word. Normally, when you see Stormy Pea on here, I gotta bring up the fact that she wants to suck a dick with a dude. I always have to bring.
Wait, what?
I just have to bring. I always have to bring
You
up.
want to suck a dick with a dude? Wait.
No, I just want.
She's like, I
you wanna
said
suck a gay
what I
nigga
said.
And do.
Listen,
Oh, you want to suck a gay nigga dick?
Well, no, I want to have a threesome with 2 bisexual men because I don't want them to just fuck me. I want us all to fuck each other.
see, our show was. We didn't go there
Yeah,
with
we
this
didn't-
show
no, we didn't do that
we got
today.
Jay Hill and he took.
Don't you do that? Don't you do that?
Oh no, wait.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not
Hit your face.
fault.
but there's a reason.
I forgot I'm on camera.
There's a. I didn't just do that to throw this young lady who was dynamic under the bus. It was because her live show is some shit that you do not want to miss. So we are doing something to get some tickets in the hands. Take it away, Stormy Pea.
Now this Slice was supposed to do this shit.
Oh, he ain't at a
I'm
microphone.
offering a date with Stormy Pea, and I'm giving you 2 free tickets. But what you gotta do? You gotta have the best comment. We'll let you
But
go.
you gotta be a gay
Christ.
nigga. You gotta be
Okay,
gay.
let's start
You
over.
gotta be bisexual. You gotta be willing to suck a dick. You gotta be willing to
You
suck a
can't
dick.
be 15 for the record.
18 and older, bye, and
No.
Can we start over?
So you
Just
might
send it
not
back
want to
me.
miss
Send it back
Stormy's
to me.
live show unless you're heterosexual. A heterosexual male.
No. You heterosexuals, you could go, but you don't have to suck no dicks.
It's okay.
All right, go ahead.
We're gonna start over. Okay. It's your girl, Stormy Pea. February 17th at World Cafe Live, I'm having a live taping of Chocolate Chip and Sip Live. You've seen all the viral clips going crazy on the internet. Yes, I said I called that nigga corny when he showed up to my house with flowers. Yes, I said if a nigga cheat on me, I'm not going to be upset if he gave me a reason not to cheat and I didn't fix it beforehand. Yes, I said I don't want to go to a restaurant to a first date because it's fucking outdated, okay? Now, y'all had a bunch of shit to say about this stuff. If you want to chime in on the conversation, now is your chance. Philly, February 17th at World Cafe Live. Now, you also know I'm still single. So what we got going on here is you can not only win a chance to get a date with me, Stormy P, a real date. You want to bring flowers. You want to go to a restaurant. Whatever you want to do.
You can't go to a restaurant. You just told me he a lame ass nigga.
I'm just saying.
Cheesecake Factory.
But niggas was saying, oh, it's lame because he didn't do it the right way or because he wasn't me. That's what y'all was saying. That's what y'all was saying. So if you want your chance, this is what we're going to do. If we were to go on a date, where would we go? What would we do? Let me know. Give me the best fucking date in these comments. That's what we want to hear.
And don't get the fucking dish thing with the top and have your dick under there.
Yes, please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
That's the only date
men
you
only?
get.
That can get the date?
Huh?
Is it only men who can get
Oh,
the
no,
date?
I'm an equal opportuner. For
Okay,
sure,
period.
for sure. Now, I feel like Dev set this shit up weird because he started with the sucking dick comment. First of all, I said that was my fantasy, and I said 9 times out of 10, I already know I'm not going to get it. First of all, he just like to throw shit in
never
there
know.
to add spice, all right?
That's true.
I actually am a very regular human being. I like very regular things, but I also don't mind speaking my fucking mind. So,
And if
yeah.
you a cosplay nerd
yeah.
and you into that, listen,
A what?
you
What
could
is
end
it?
up a cosplay
Cosplay?
nerd.
What's that?
Like you go to Comic-Cons and stuff like that.
dress
and
up in costume.
like I like that.
Should be
Dressing
Chun-Li for you.
Should be a black Chun-Li, should be Storm, should be, you know what I mean? Should be all that. So
If you
If
got
you
a
into
Red
that-
Ranger costume, I'll put my Pink Ranger costume on. We can go fuck in the bathroom. Like, what's up? Like, let me know. What will we do? Like, that's
imagine
all
that
I'm asking.
Megazord.
Yeah, let me play that Dragon Sword flute, baby. Yeah.
That's
Dun, dun,
crazy.
dun, 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 dun.
That's-
The nerds got
Jesus
it.
said.
The nerds got it. The
That's
nerds
crazy.
got it.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
please let us know in the comments for your chance to win tickets to this event. You know, for myself, for Maura, you know what I'm saying? She's over here coughing. She's
Sorry.
sick. She got something, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know,
Ain't
for
none of us gonna be at the show now.
I know,
Shit.
but,
No,
you know,
it's called
I've
an Easy
got
E.
blunts this week, and I've been off blunts, and then I smoked a blunt yesterday and the day before, and I'm like, I think I have to actually stop.
oh,
Jesus.
it's just a blunt cough. And for Slice Maximus,
this nigga
The blood cough is better than like a COVID cough, okay, guys?
I guess I'll take that.
I went straight to the movie straight out of Compton, and I just automatically thought Easy E.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
My bad.
AIDS ain't real. But yeah, listen, Stormy P, we appreciate you, and of course, the legendary Jay
Jesus Christ.
Hill is in the building. We can't believe it, and we up out of here, y'all.
This nigga.
Peace.
AIDS ain't real. What? There are millions of people who beg to differ.